New data this week shows there's serious progress being made around the world on renewable energy as energy shocks from the restricted Strait of Hormuz continue to highlight, of course, the world's dependence on fossil fuels. So for more on all of this, let's go to the CBC's Anand Ram. He joins us now live. Okay, so the headlines here seem to be about solar power. What more do we know about that?
So absolutely. In two reports this week, one from the International Energy Agency and one from Ember, they're a think tank in the UK, solar is everywhere. Its growth, basically its rise from 2024 to 2025 was faster and higher than any other fuel source. And that, interestingly enough, is driven by investment from big polluters like China and India, who contribute to a lot of CO2 emissions, but they're also the biggest players when it comes to solar now. And so they are making gains in the production and development of solar energy so much that they didn't increase their burning of fossil fuels to meet their electricity demands. And these reports are filled with these sort of kind of like sunny stats, I call them, including global solar output is now enough to meet the demands of the entire EU's electricity. And that's, wow, that's 27 countries right there that can be met by all the solar that's being made in the world. And solar, along with other renewables, as the world demands more energy year over year, all those renewables can now meet that demand, so there's no need to burn or start new fossil fuel projects.
Now, it seems even with the rise of renewables, as you've described for us now, people aren't exactly turning off the taps, though.
No, absolutely not. I think experts would agree that this sort of all or nothing approach when it comes to renewables or fossil fuels would be unrealistic. But given what we're seeing now, it's economically prudent to transition away from them, because what we're seeing now for nearly 2 months is the Strait of Hormuz and the sort of blockade, and the countries that depend on the oil and gas exports and the byproducts of those oil and gas exports to keep the lights on, as you said at the beginning. And so I spoke with Jessica Isaacs. She's with the World Resources Institute, and here's how she sees renewables helping with geopolitical situations like this.
A country that's facing fossil fuel import dependency has a constant negative pull on its fiscal balances. You have something that you can't control that's playing a huge part in your economy. So the choice to transition to renewable electricity is a choice that can really insulate countries from those supply shocks.
And she gave us some examples of that. Normally, you think about Norway or Denmark, where they run their entire countries on renewable energy. You might not think about the progress made in, say, Pakistan, where they've made huge gains in solar production and deployment, so much so that the World Resources Institute estimates that by switching to solar in a lot of different ways, they've saved about $12 billion in costs that this Iranian oil crisis would have led to. Now, they still depend on Iranian oil and natural gas, but by switching over, you can see how they've sort of created an economic buffer to the impacts of what's happening right now. And Pakistan, of course, we must remember that a few years ago dealt with devastating floods that killed so many people, floods that were supercharged by climate change. And so switching to solar was a good option for many reasons for them.
Very interesting. Thank you for this. That is the CBC's Anand Ram reporting.